So guys, welcome to my bow training video. I hope you're able to follow along. I've got my bow with my elbow sling at the ready, and I have my clinny band as well. So we're going to start off with a light bit of warm up before we do our reversal session. There's a lot of muscles involved in the holding exercises, and we want to make sure that we have them well warmed up. So if you just grab your clinny band, we're going to start off with the rotator cuff. So we're just going to rotate around the elbow, 90 degrees, just like this. This is warming up the internal muscles in the shoulder, the rotator cuff muscles, and then we'll come out in front so it's all resisted. We'll do the other arm. This is external rotation. And now we'll do this side with internal rotation. Sorry, external rotation. We'll do internal rotation in a minute. Rotating around the arm, around the shoulder. Don't do this. We're not trying to warm up the tricep. We're rotating around the arm. So now we hold the band above ourselves. So we do internal rotation. The warm-up's fairly light, fairly low level, but it gets the blood pumping, gets the muscles activated, ready for a good bit of exercise. So today's reversal session, now we're just going to do band pull-aparts. Today's reversal session will be quite hard work, so don't feel that you have to keep up. Ooh, good clunk there. Don't feel that you have to keep up. This is it will be a push. I will probably do the full half hour because I can, but have a go. Now we'll come up and pull down. Have a go, see how long you can keep up for, and it's a good mark in the sand. It's a good place to go from, somewhere to work hard, improve, and you'll see those numbers get higher and higher every time we do it. So I've got my timer here. We'll just start that. So I'm going to do 30 seconds up and then 30 seconds rest. You may not be able to hold your form that long. Don't worry at all. If you can, stay in position. We particularly don't want to collapse. We don't want the elbows coming down. We want to stay fully stretched out in our full draw position, full alignment, training that shape there. So I'm about to come to 30. So with the elbow sling, you don't want to have your hand gripping the string. You want your hand relaxed, your arms in line, and your elbow in behind your head. It's really quite simple. As long as you don't hit a door, you just put your body in a nice line just like that. 25 seconds. And 60. So you may have struggled with that. It isn't necessarily easy, but there's quite a nice idea from the Kenyan runners that they all run at pace with the fastest runner, and if they can keep up, well, they keep up for as long as they can, and then they give up. It means that you don't have, with your marathon times, this would be, you don't have average days. You should have just well, you've got the opportunity to sometimes be amazing. Sometimes you might fail miserably, but pushing yourself, seeing how long you can keep up, it's a very good benchmark. 30-30 reversals are a fairly serious stress, fairly serious exercise. I might not do the full half hour because, well, the probability that anybody watching along is able to keep up is really quite low. We'll start off maybe with 10 minutes. We'll do 10 minutes at 30-30. Nice short, sharp, sweet session. Get a good bit of lactic acid built up. A good bit of physicality, strength inside the bow. These exercises really do top up your bow fitness. They give you a strength for archery, which you really can't do without. I started doing reversals in 2015. I first heard about them, obviously I knew about the shot trainer, where you shoot with the elbow sling on. I knew about that for quite a long time really. But the actual exercise of reversals, pulling the bow back on the elbow sling and holding for a long period of time, I learned about at the Antalya World Cup in 2015. And I started doing it then. That was at the end of May, something like that. And well, about 6 weeks later, I shot a world record. So it really is something that takes your bow fitness to another place really quite quickly. There's a calmness and a relaxed element which comes from doing reversals. Because you're holding for such a long period of time, your body has to find the right position. If you're out of line, you're not going to hold that very long. So it pulls you further into line, makes you find the right bone structure where the bones all stack up through the body. My wrist is broken, bent backwards I mean. Pushing into myself, through into the wrist, through into the upper arm, into the shoulder, which is down and in front of my body. Alignment's really very easy. You want the shoulder down, so we're not up like this. We want the shoulder down, and then the arm in line with ourselves. Just a second, excuse me, I'm going to get a drink. I really like my water bottle, wrapped in fluorescent masking tape. Okay, and we'll, if I can get my elbow in, start another hold. I've used these exercises a lot whenever I felt the need to build my bow fitness, to increase my stamina. If you can do half an hour, 30-30, you definitely have enough strength to shoot a full tournament, full day's practice, anything like that. So this is probably quite a push if you're trying to keep up and follow along. 30 seconds up, 30 seconds down is a fairly long work to rest ratio. Quite a lot of work being done, but it's well, you may as well start at the top and see how far you can get. This is halfway, about 5 minutes. So yeah, we're in lockdown then. The entire country is effectively shut up in their houses. Interesting world, isn't it? Very interesting world. Definitely history. World history in the making. And then 30 seconds rest. Make sure to breathe well whilst you're doing it. You want to breathe through your nose. Always breathe through your nose. The mouth is well, it's really designed for eating. There's even in heavy exercise, you should try and breathe through your nose. It takes a long time for you to train your body to be used to that. The main thing is that carbon dioxide is actually the trigger for it's actually the trigger to make us breathe, to make us inspire. Most people just have their carbon dioxide meter, their monitor, whatever it is, in their lungs. They've got that set too high, and too small an amount of carbon dioxide will make them feel the need to breathe. We actually want to have more carbon dioxide in our blood. It allows the hemoglobin to release the oxygen, allows better perfusion into the blood, into the tissues. 58, 59, 60. So yeah, we want to breathe lightly through our nose, but make sure to always have a good flow of oxygen whilst you're doing these exercises. There's a lot of stress on the body. There is a lot of strain being done, but it's definitely worth it in the end. So we've got 3 more holds to do, just for the 10-minute session. Over the next period, we'll try and push that boundary, push our bow fitness. I guarantee you, when you come back into shooting, when all of this is over, you'll actually end up fitter, stronger, and probably shoot higher scores, simply because these exercises are quite that powerful. I find it's both, there's a physical stress, obviously, in the exercise being done, but I find it's actually really good because it helps you find that line. It helps you find that centered position in your joints where your muscles are nice and balanced, even and set up. Do a fair bit of this and shooting becomes a breeze. It just becomes easy, light. Well, you have bow fitness. Most people in the UK, most people in the world, frankly, that do archery, they don't really have the right level of bow fitness to compete at and perform at the level that they would like to. Obviously, there's limits to how much archery people can do in their general lives, but adding some reversals in daily, leave the bow strung up at the bottom of the stairs, leave it in the corner in the kitchen, so whenever you're cooking, you can just have it whenever, or the bottom of the stairs. My coach really likes that as a concept. Every time you come past the bow, you do a few reversals, and all of that strength, all of that fitness builds up over time, and just gives you the bow fitness and the stamina to keep doing this skill, which is a fairly strenuous sport. There is quite a lot of physical stress on the body whilst you shoot. So we've got one more hold we're going to do, just starting off at 10 minutes, 30 seconds up, 30 seconds down. Why don't you post the flag of where you're from in the comments? We'll see where people are from. It's really interesting to see how wide a following I have across the world. It's fantastic, the archery community being so supportive and encouraging, and I'm just glad that I can do something to help pass the time. Our last hold. It's a lovely day outside. Really a lovely day. Probably go out for a walk. My one form of daily exercise. 5 seconds left. Very good. So that was a nice short bow training session for you today. I hope you had fun. I know it was probably quite strenuous and quite difficult, but take a little record somewhere in the notes in your phone, a notebook, wherever you feel like it, of how many reversals you managed to do. 30-30 is a very good benchmark. It is difficult. It is not easy. It's a fairly high level, but you probably will be able to do a few, and just keep pushing that boundary. Watch this video back. Do the 30-30 reversals along with me as often as you like. So yeah, have a good day. I hope you have a nice time.